Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq, coming to you live from CES 2024 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Joining me for this segment, we have Rich Kramer, CEO of Nasdaq listed, the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Rich joins me to discuss increased safety and performance in today's tires and how that can increase with innovation. Rich, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talk.
Thank you, Jill. Great to be here.
You got it. Give us a little bit of background here when it comes to tire intelligence. You and I were discussing before that there seems to be a more diverse mix of companies representing this year, and you might not think about tires when you think about EV and batteries, so tell us about the intelligence behind it.
So, you know, to your point, I think what we're seeing, and we're seeing all around us here, is the further evolution of the software-designed vehicle, right, where software is primarily enabling all the functions and features that we're seeing in vehicles. So as we think about the tire and a lot of other things, as you and I chatted about, we're here, the tire is one of those things that's really becoming a software-designed tire to be able to integrate with the vehicle systems to improve performance and safety of the vehicle. And how we do that is I'll be a little oversimplistic here, but we measure the tire characteristics through our proprietary historic tire data, through tire modeling data, and through sensors, and we capture road characteristics through sensors. We combine that data, use one of our algorithms, and because of that we can measure temperature and pressure, but also wear, load, and the ultimate is measuring friction to seeing what's happening on the road between the road and the tire itself. We take that information real time and then we put that back to vehicle driving systems to make that vehicle know more what's happening actually on the road, again, to improve its safety and its performance.
And you had a couple of key news announcements here, including one with Sightline. Tell us more about that.
Correct. Sightline is essentially our intelligent tire technology, and what we announced is the integration of that with a couple partners, ZF into their Cubics model, which is their software-based driving system, where we inform that software-based driving system, in their case specifically about aquaplaning, and allow their cubic system to inform braking, suspension, and steering system of vehicles to essentially stabilize that vehicle using our data real time. And we also had an announcement here partnering with Gatik, which is a mid-mile autonomous trucking company where there is no one in the car. So again, taking that same information and providing it into the Gatik vehicle to make sure that it's driving safe on the road. But also in the case of a fleet like Gatik, we also give them expanded use cases, because now we can they can operate not only on dry roads and sunshine, but wet roads or icy roads or snowy roads, because we're giving them that information off the pavement itself. So it increases their use cases and allows them to expand their business, or at least helps them expand their business.
And you know, in addition to safety, tires are really the only component that touches the road and really are one of the most important components when it comes to performance as well. I mean, there's so many factors that go into it, whether it's longevity of the tire, you know, maximizing the efficiency of what it's doing on the road.
You're exactly right. I mean, these software-defined vehicles, by definition, have a lot of intelligence in them, 150 million lines of code, all that kind of thing, you know. But at the end of the day, you have all that going, but unless that that vehicle is making contact with the road and doing it safely, it's a real problem. And that's why the tire always has been important, but now I would suggest it's even more important, because rather than just being an object that's bolted onto the vehicle, sort of a passive object that's bolted on the vehicle, now we're bringing real intelligence off the road, real-time information to make that vehicle drive safer. So the role of the tire has probably never been more important to us.
Let's talk about some of the trends that you're seeing at CES this year. It feels like there's a different vibe in the auto hall this year. It's not just like the really cool cars that are on the floor. It seems as if there's all the components, all the suppliers, all the software providers. What are some of the trends that you've noticed?
Well, you know, as you and I were chatting a little bit, I think we've been here for this is our fourth time here, and we saw the trends of EV and AV coming in probably 4 years ago, 5 years ago. We saw those happening, or at least projected to happen at a very fast rate. And I think we've seen those things slow down. However, I would suggest that the end point probably hasn't changed, just the timing at which we get there probably has. And what you're seeing, in my opinion, here today is a lot of those companies that are progressively and jointly developing those technologies that are going to enable that same end result. And what we're seeing is those technologies maturing at a really good pace. And I would say some of the innovations are still mind-blowing here, but they're happening at a more measured pace to achieve those same goals. And I fully believe that they will. I think autonomous driving or increasingly autonomous driving, even if a person's behind the wheel. EVs, again, a little bit of bump in the road in the US, certainly not in China. Our China EV business remains really strong, but we see EVs, AVs, fleets, and of course sustainability. Sustainability in the vehicles and sustainability in our tires are all trends that are happening, and you can see it all around us here in a really measured way.
All right, Rich, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for joining me from CES. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.